entrepreneurs, greetings to you, and I really hope you are having a productive day until now. And even if you're not, this video is going to make this hell a lot of a productive day today. Because in this video, we are going to speak about what is the one thing that is either stopping getting innovative with your product, with your business, or with your marketing strategy so that you can power up and you can eliminate the one hurdle and power up your sales process. So, let's get started. Let's start with an introduction. I am Saranya Narayana Moorthy, a strategic marketer and a sales consultant. I run 3 companies, and in my core, I speak about entrepreneurship, marketing, and sales. So, today we are here with this concept that I would like to actually introduce you to, which you will very well know in your life because this is something that you have been accustomed to in your personal, professional, your psychological, philosophical, every life that you ever have. So, before I introduce you to this concept, let me ask you this question. Have you ever felt that no matter what strategy you're coming up with, no matter what idea you're coming up with, there's something that already exists and you're just still thinking inside circles? You're trying your best to put yourself out of the box, but the box just falls under and you're always stuck in that one zone and you're unable to break through it. Now, if you're here, this is something that happens very commonly to entrepreneurs because many times we think the idea that we are doing is innovative until we see someone doing the exact similar thing or maybe 60, 70 matches of the same thing. But if you're thinking, so what is this happening? Mental block that's in my mind, I would say it's not just something in your mind, but rather it is a complete entrepreneurial experience that you're going to put through. And at the end of this video, trust me when I say this, you're going to find an answer on how to break that through, how you can power up and create more innovative ideas. So today I'm going to introduce you to 2 concepts. One is design thinking and the other one is associative barriers. Design thinking is nothing but, let's say, if you need to have a structured process on how to think or how to create innovative concept, no, that's design thinking. You can also check out this video that I will drop at the end of the channel so that you can understand more about how to create your own ideas using design thinking. But what is the one factor that's actually limiting you or what is not letting you come out of the zone? That's associative barriers. Now, let me start with the story, okay? Have you heard of this chef, Marcus Samuelson? And if you have not known Marcus Samuelson, you should certainly know about him because he is an Swedish American celebrity chef, restaurateur, television personality, and head chef. And he has been featured on so many publications, including Forbes, and he has been the judge on Guys Grocery Games, Top Chef, Iron Chef USA, Iron Chef America, and so many other things. And let's say television like CNN, MS, and and hmm, and television channels like CNN has done a wide range of coverage on him. Now, not going to speak about this particular person or his achievement in this video, but what I wanted to speak about is how he became this person. Because at the age 24, Samuelson became the executive chef of Aquatic, and soon afterwards, he became the youngest ever to receive the 3-star restaurant review from the New York Times. Now, let's say in 2003, he was named the best chef of New York. Now, if you see the timeline, if you see the age in which he has achieved this, you will know that this is not an average chef we are talking about here. It isn't about his accomplishments or how did he become that person, but rather what inspired him to do so. Now, let me give you a preview of who he is and what he cooks. Now, once he, let's say, when he was starting in Sweden, when he started cooking, there was this restaurant in which he was working, and there was a head chef, and he was just one among the other chefs. And suddenly, when that head chef was taking a step back from his job, the restaurant owners didn't know what to do, and they put in Samuelson to fill up the place. And when he put fit in, the other chefs were kind of outraged. They were like, "You don't put a 20-year-old to run a kitchen, right? Especially in a hotel as this." Back that time, that restaurant was having a single star. You don't put a 20-year-old in charge for a restaurant. But that was the best move the restaurant ever made because ever since Samuelson took over, the number of people who came in and the number of repeat customers they got, plus the reputation of the restaurant skyrocketed. Now, when people came in, they were all excited, and very soon the restaurant earned 3 stars, and he went on to become the youngest celebrity chef ever. And from there, he went on to collect more awards, accolades, and have the bestseller cookbooks, and he continued to thrive in his art. But the point is, how did he become that person? Now, here's where we're going to take a look at his cuisines. So, take a look at how his cuisines were formed. was not just focusing on Sweden recipes, but he combined his expertise and created sauces. Created, let's say, he was serving lemongrass sauces when people in Sweden haven't even heard of lemongrass. So he combined all these different cuisines and he combined all these different ingredients to create that flavor. So he was not a person who focused on, let's say, getting better at his own dishes, but he was someone who used the flavors to create their own dishes. Now you might ask, so how did he get that ideas, or how did he know what to cook, or how did he know how to combine this, or how did he know it was okay to combine recipes? The crux of what we are discussing. Because trust me when I say this, as entrepreneurs, we all know this is what the business is lacking, and this is what needs to be done, and this is the outcome that you wanted, and this is the resources you have, and with this resources to achieve this outcome that you need to do. But many times we are unable to put the pieces together, or we take a longer route instead of taking a shorter route. So that's what we are trying to match up here. And how did this chef come up with all these things? Or how did he feel it was okay to do that? Here is where association barriers comes into play. Now, if you see, let's see how our brain works. Imagine I'm telling you a word, for example, camera. What are the words that come in when you think of camera? You say pictures, you say online, you say spotlight, you say memories, or you say capturing the moment, anything. On the other hand, let's say if I'm saying stick, and you might think a dog, a car, a tree, or even a selfie stick, anything, right? But when you say a word, you're able to recollect a lot more words in connection to that. And many times, what happens? These connections in our mind are very much there. So when we think of a person, we are able to connect with their personality. And when we think of a personality, we are saying this is how the person is. So we are able to create that subconscious associations within our mind. Many times, what happens when we think of money, what behaviors you have, what thought process that you have. When you think of business, what is it that you have? And when you think of marketing, when you think of sales, what are the thought process that you have in mind? Because whatever you have here is what lays the foundation for what you believe in. So that's exactly how it was in cuisines as well. So let's say if you want to say, I want to eat continental, the number of options that you get are restricted to continental. And if you say you want to eat Indian, so the number of options that you get are exactly to that. Let's say, what if you're able to mix Italian cuisine and Indian cuisine? What if you're able to create a Sweden dish with an Indian tandoori sauce? What if you're able to create an Italian pasta with a Chinese or Japanese sushi? So this is exactly what Marcus Samuelsson did. He knew the flavors and he created all of these flavors together. Because in his mind, the association of Sweden cuisine was not restricted to Sweden. We'll tell you how he got that. So if you see now if you see the history of how he was born, he's an Ethiopian by birth, and his parents died when he was 3 of tuberculosis, and at that time he was adopted by a Sweden family. Now, the Swedish people, person who adopted him was a geologist. So in his early years, he was able to travel to so many countries and eat food from different places. And when he went to culinary school, the craft that he learned, he realized the food that he ate is not just limited to one specific cuisine, it's the flavor that actually plays in. And this was reflected when he took on a world trip in a cruise and where he was a top chef. And he said, I was put up in places and I was supposed to cook in different cities in different places. Like, for example, he was cooking in India, he was cooking in Greek, he was cooking in Italian, so many other places. And when he did, instead of just restricting himself to that independent flavors, he put it all together. And still, he says that 1 year marked that spot where he was able to think without the perimeters of demography and he was able to come out of the zone where you say, in this culture, this is how we do it. So, associative barriers are generally like that, right? We have a certain boundary towards us and we operate just within that boundary. But what if you're able to come out of it? Many times we are learning a lot of things. We look at cultures, we look at different people doing this. Everywhere you're saying this doesn't work for my business. This doesn't work for my life. The question is, why do you want to connect everything to your life? What if you can just pick up pieces from it and then put together in a way that it becomes your life? That's exactly what the and that is exactly what the core of this video is. How are you going to create your marketing plan? How are you going to create your business plan in a way that it fits all the perimeters of what you wanted to do, while at the same time ensures that it is staying natural or it is just cumulative to what the world wants to see. Now, if you see, your business has three primary people, right? You, which is the founder, your competitors, and then your customers. Now, the perspective with which all of you see are completely different. So, how are you going to create a common path or how are you going to create a line of illumination where from wherever they see, you are able to place your business in a better positioning? So, how are you going to create that marketing strategy for your business? Now, that's the crux of it. So, the primary point not to give you a marketing strategy, but to teach you how to think and to tell you that you don't need to think from just one perspective or just adopt to one marketing strategy. You can choose a strategy, align it with different, create a tool from a different process, put it all together, and marketing strategy. So the next time when you think this is not possible or this doesn't fit my business, ask yourself, are you including any associative barriers in your mind? Because if you do, your entire design thinking process is going to be interrupted. Because design thinking is all about empathizing with your customer, knowing exactly what their problems are, putting all the things together in a way that it's not put before or in a way that it's not familiar to your customer, and coming up with that final identity that will ensure that you are being concrete to what the customer wants to have. So ideally, eliminate your association barriers first and then get started with your process of creating this marketing plan for your business. And if you want to know the entire process of design thinking, do check out this video so that you can have a detailed idea of it. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel so that you can hear more about entrepreneurship, business, marketing, sales, and anything that will help you to become a better professional, better entrepreneur, and certainly grow your sales. So with this, do check out the next videos and the other videos in the channel. And if you are looking forward to any doubts or any clarification, do reach out to me on LinkedIn or drop me an email at the ID mentioned below. And with this, let me see you in the next video. Signing off for now, Saranya Narayana Moorthy.